Hey there, thanks for clicking on today's video. If this session helps you relax, we'd love to have you on Patreon, where we share exclusive massage therapy content. Your support truly keeps these sessions going. More often than not, when I am doing a full back massage, I'll do something for the glutes and also a nice stretch for the low back. Just tilting the pelvis a little bit, opening things out. And it's important when you're with the right hand that you're not trying to just press down, because you're gonna feel really awkward or pressing away. And this is a great place to just walk over. Sometimes I will start with my elbow, my forearm. Other times I'll start with a soft fist. And I'll just start applying some pressure, not lingering too long. Sometimes it takes a second to feel confident that you're on the right spot, that glute medius. And once you feel like you're on the right spot, you can offer a little gentle rocking. Good for a number of things. I like to spend at least a minute here, giving this muscle time to relax. What this does is it helps the low back just naturally let go. The glute medius pulls on the low back a lot more than we realize when it's tight. And I'd say as a therapist, the goal should be to work smarter, not harder. And sequencing of things can make a really big difference in how the body responds. So you can transition to a soft fist, or you can just continue up the back with your forearm. You're in a perfect position to do that. And not trying to offer a whole lot of pressure, just being pretty gentle. You go up the erector spinae muscles. I'll usually do that 2 or 3 times, each time offering a little bit more pressure if I feel like my client needs it. There's something really calming about that long forearm, putting pressure on those 3 erector spinae muscles. It can feel good to just linger there a minute or 2. I'll usually do a few passes up the erector spinae before tracing that shoulder bone, working into the traps. And it can be helpful to offer a few stretches before you have oil on your hands, which makes it harder. Grab my oil. really enjoy doing full back massage because you can do nice broad effleurage strokes. Let's just feel good. And on your effleurage strokes, don't be afraid to include the arms a little bit. Those broad strokes are going to feel really nice. These first few passes down the back are more about just applying the oil than anything. But I want them to feel like they're part of the massage. Finally, I'm just going to start dragging the heel of my hands down those erector spinae that work so hard to help support the spine as we move through our day. Pretty quickly, I'll transition to a soft fist. And just slowing down a little bit. Really focusing in a little more on that erector spinae area, going down. If you feel like your client's a little ticklish, slowing down and offering more pressure is usually more helpful than less pressure. And when the mid back gets really tight, a defense mechanism can actually be to get ticklish. After a few effleurage strokes, really focusing on the erector spinae, I like to transition to the lats and the connective tissue around the hip bones. So working close to that attachment site for the lats, I'm just gonna start stretching some of this out. And this thick connective tissue gets kind of sticky and bound together. Can make the hips feel tight, the low back feel tight. And I like to, at the end of that stroke, I like to grab hold of those lats and really pull them up. You can do another effleurage stroke to end up down there again, or you can simply just walk your hands down. I'll often just move to the side and focus in a little more on the area around the hips. Especially if this is part of the plan for the massage, I'll make sure that I start with that work in the glute medius. And it can feel really nice if that pressure is sustained and uninterrupted. You can just walk your hands. Tracing the hip bone. If I'm working on an especially smaller framed person, I'm pretty careful around here. I go really slow. I don't want to hit any bony areas. And you have a lot of different options at this point, depending on the areas that you want to focus on. So I'd like to just open up this low back a little bit. I'm going to drag my right forearm up, working on those lats, just opening up that area, the low back a little more, anchoring my left elbow on the glutes. If you're not going to do much for the QL muscle, at least like just drag your forearm up to create a little more space. With a full back massage, I'll do kind of more back and forth between the lats and the erector spinae. I love working with my forearm because I can work on both muscle groups at the same time. On the way up, focusing more on the lats. Really good for muscle tissue in general to be worked on from different angles and in different ways. The erector spinae are no exception. If your client is needing or wanting, or both, deeper work in the erector spinae, you can always protect the spine and just bring that elbow down. So I would not attempt this on someone that's super ticklish, that's for sure. That's a great way to help these muscles open up a little more if they're really contracted. And you don't have to be distracted by, am I going to hit a vertebrae? Am I going to hit the spine? Because it's nice and protected. Especially in a different technique, it can be helpful to do something familiar and predictable to help your client relax after. Just bringing that forearm up. And I want to, any area that I do deeper work on, I want to make nice with before moving on. And I also want there to be pauses in between any deeper work that I do. Because I want my client to leave feeling like lighter, more open, but also relaxed. And transitioning to upper back more, starting to move into that middle and upper trap. With full back massage, I would just find ways to communicate like a whole body awareness more. So in between some deeper strokes, I would just include the lats, include the erector spinae. It's a great way to work the soft tissue too in between. If I sense that my client's kind of fatigued from the deeper work, but needs a little more on those shoulders, I'll just do a few Effleurage strokes, giving them a little break. Then I can swing back around when they're ready. It's really important when you're doing these effleurage strokes that you're present though. You don't want to be thinking about what you're going to have for dinner. You want to be mindful how you're doing things. And just finding ways to make the transition over a little easier. So just shortening my effleurage strokes, and then I can walk over once again. And starting with pretty relaxed stroke and just easing my way back into those deeper layers of tissue. I'll do a lot of that if somebody has like a chronic pain that they're dealing with. Like I want them to have those moments of just feeling really good in the massage too. But if you're working with someone who has chronic pain, say in their right shoulder, and you know that that upper trap is like balled up and super contracted, you're gonna need to do deeper work on it, which is gonna be uncomfortable to help them feel better in the long run. Always when I do that upper trap work, I like to bring a few strokes into the neck, making sure that that release travels all the way into the neck. And I will include this technique in most of my full back massages, just tracing the vertebrae, the spine, working on that connective tissue in between the spine and the erector spinae. If there is an area along the back that felt especially tight, you know, somewhere in this erector spinae area or upper traps, I would really emphasize working on that area along the spine. This has always felt like an awkward technique to end on, so I'm going to end with some effleurage strokes. I'm just taking it pretty easy here. There's something about crossing over the hip bones that feels a lot more satisfying than stopping short of them. And something about massage, I don't think you're ever gonna feel like perfectly done, but you'll find that perfect spot to end. Until next time. Hey friends, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's massage therapy video, join us on Patreon where you'll find hundreds of exclusive massage therapy videos. We hope to see you there.